While I'm here, this is a good time to talk a little bit about Rat Rod-ology. I guess big article in Hot Rod magazine a while back where they were talking about what is a rat rod. Is it an unfinished hot rod? Is it a death trap? Whatever, you know. And you know, my thinking on this car is that this is a car that I could put together with pieces and parts that I could scrounge up and afford. And I've been driving it all summer as it is. The engine has old 53 Cadillac valves in the heads, which are soft valves, which you can't really run with unleaded gas, so I have to run some additive in there. And it needs to have the heads reworked, needs to have hardened steel valves put in it. The rings are wore out. I got a lot of back pressure. You can tell by the way it puffs out the vent pipe. So whenever I pull the heads off, I'm going to re-ring the engine. And of course, I'll need to put new, check the bearings and inserts and replace them more than likely. And of course, if I'm all the way in there, it'll need a new camshaft. So by the time I finish with all that, I'll have me a basic engine rebuild. But all that stuff costs money, even if I do it myself. And I don't really have any money to speak of right now. So I guess the reason I started all this was to say that what I did was I put this thing together and I drove it this summer. I had a boatload of fun with it. It hasn't been perfect, and so what? You know, I show up at the car show and the engine don't run that great, but heck, 50-year-old motor, never been rebuilt. If it runs at all, I felt pretty good about that. And it smokes, but so what? It smokes, deal with it. There's a lot of imperfections here, and a lot of them will stay. I'm never going to put a coat of paint on this car, period. That's just the end of that. But I wouldn't be beyond putting I got a guy up the street that runs an upholstery shop, and I wouldn't mind letting him make me a little seat back here at some point, or something like that. But I just like the idea that you can build a car and it doesn't have to be perfect or shiny. You don't have to spend $100,000 on it to show up at the car show and not feel ashamed of yourself. And you can call it what you want to call it. You can call it a hot rod or a rat rod, a traditional rod, a death trap, a piece of junk, a rattle trap. I don't really give a crap. I'm just having fun with it. And I encourage everybody else to, too. Anybody that wants to build one of these things. I know a lot of fellows was looking at this summer and they're saying they're going to build one. I know a couple that's actually doing it. And I think that's a grand idea. I think you should. Because it's cheap comparatively. I'm not going to say it's cheap because all these parts do cost money, but it's cheap compared to what a lot of folks do. And it's fun, and it's simple, and it's a little bit outrageous, and by golly, I like it. So that's my commentary on hot rodism for the day. Y'all have a nice day, and I'll go see if I can find something else to get into.